Prison store boxes for me was one of my most lucrative hustles, what I call a legal hustle behind the wall, because it didn't deal with hustling substances and whatnot. But it was also one of the most stressful hustles I had. I've had store boxes as small as just a box that I had in the cell with me or dorm I was in, and I've had store boxes that were bigger outside of my dorm. Maybe a couple of my homeboys were holding boxes, etc. But in short, if you've never done time, if you've never been to prison, jail, etc., what a store box is, it's basically somewhere you can go for a loan, a food loan usually. And how that works is, let's just say you weren't able to go to commissary this week and you were hungry and you wanted two soups to eat that night. You can come get two soups from me, but you would have to pay me back three on store day. There would be a tax. And by then, you would already have been paid. You should be able to go to commissary, bring me my stuff. If you want three sodas, it would be five back. If you wanted five honey buns, depending on how cool you were, or if you were a steady client, etc., it could be seven or eight back. It just varies, right? But that's the general principle of the store box. Some people go to the store box not just to get food items to eat, but to get money to pay off debt, whether it's dealing with substances, whether it's dealing with gambling, etc. When you have commissary in prison, you got power. You know what I'm saying? That's just is what it is. Everybody doesn't have commissary, and commissary is currency. Currency is the ability to influence. It's the ability to create for yourself. It's the ability to get things off the yard when they come in, or convert what I was doing, taking my commissary. Sometimes back in the day, getting books of stamps or straight out cash money. I'd send the books of stamps out to get them converted to cash. But however, green dots back in the day, it's very lucrative. But the stressful part is when people don't pay their debt in prison. And man, you could have a guy that's been, a good client paying his debt, and the third month in, something goes left. And when they don't pay their debt, that puts you in a situation because you have to handle it in a way that the rest of the pod, the rest of the prison knows that because he didn't pay his debt, they can't get away with not paying it either. So sometimes it can get, beyond words. It can turn into physical, but you kind of have to set the tone in letting people know, like, yeah, he might not have been able to pay this week, but that doesn't mean y'all can't pay this week. Because if you don't, then man, everybody's gonna come take your stuff or start borrowing, just bucking on you, period. So that's the other thing. The store box game is not for everybody. And I will say this too, man. I'm just being straight up. If somebody's constantly calling you for money from the pen, yo, something's up, yo. Either they got a bad store box habit or something's going on, man. So just be mindful, pay attention to that stuff. But yeah, that's store box in the shell.